Roczen on the inside, but Eli Tomac, is he going to actually get a whole shot here?
But for Eli Tomac, that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, he's been mired off the start in pretty much every race this year. It's Jason Anderson.
The inside just grabs a handful of that Husqvarna and doesn't quite have the pass made. No.
See these guys trying to figure out which way to go. Now, we had a ton of rain on Thursday night, and that softened things up, made these ruts.
The two fastest guys in the series at the moment, Roczen, our points leader, and theoretically, this is
ready to bring the fight to him. And these guys are not strangers to each other. They have duked it out. Battled for most of the year for the 250 title, different brands. It's a pretty long-running rivalry.
And I think for Tomac, he needs it more than anyone right now. I mean, the guy comes in with some big credentials.
So that might be it. Yes.
Yep, stuff the front end there. I just saw him kind of just push it in. I think that
victory cruise for Ken Roczen, who once again takes moto number 1. In turn 1 of these 450cc bikes, Brock Tinkle has the whole shot on the Soaring Eagle Jimmy John Suzuki. Good start to the kids.
Tomac said he had to be in front of Roczen. He gets around him early. That is huge because these guys
right with him. And they're all scrambling to figure out where is the traction. And how about Roczen leaping around Cole Seeley, who's on the number 14. Always seems to do well on these rough and rutted tracks. Originally from North Carolina, so he's raced here before. Oh, Tomac making moves.
Tomac coming to right as well.
Teammate Tinkle, they race past the Fram Mechanics area. Roczen going to try to make the pass on the outside. He's got it.
Yeah, Tinkle took a look over.
While we were away at break, Tomac, very aggressive, was able to pass the second-place rider, Brock Tinkle. It was 5.5 at one point. So Tomac's not giving up, but we are hitting the waning moments. 4 minutes before the 2 laps to go. Roczen in the lead. At one point, his gap was 5 seconds over this man, Eli Tomac. But Tomac has chopped it down to 2.3 seconds.
Almost every time. And this gap is small, and the crowd are on their feet and cheering.
Race past the front.
Mistake from Roczen.
Tomac's got an opening. He's down to the inside. Can he make it work? Roczen knows he's there now. He can hear the motorcycle. And Tomac has set himself up brilliantly for it. Roczen able to beat him to the spot.
Tomac, little bit of breathing room.
It's what Roczen has been so good at this year.
Exactly what Roczen is doing in the sections where he is strong. Different line selection there.
Oh, that's where he's looking for. Oh, Roczen off the track.
That could have been way worse. Luckily.
Tomac, right there. He's got a wheel on it. To the inside.
Oh, they go past
to come together. There's only one line up this hill. No, Tomac's going to invent a new one. He goes from outside to inside. They come together. Tomac on the outside again. Wide open through these ruts.
He might have him now. They're side by side. Different lines. White flag. 1 lap to go.
It's heart, guts, will. At this point, these guys got to be exhausted. Heart race through the roof. But the uphill triple, they both negotiated perfectly. Now a tight corner, and this section right here is going to get tricky. There's 1 line.
This section here, I think Tomac's been able to improve a little bit, which means he's not losing.
His right-hander coming up. He's on the inside again. He runs it in deep. Couldn't get a great exit. Right-hand corners that'll lead them to the finish.
He's got to get a little closer. There's too much of a distance. Hopefully the lapper gets out of the way. Tomac, he's protecting that inside. Smart move. Make your competitor go the long way around. He's not close enough as Tomac.
Ken Roczen sweeps it. Goes 1-1 at Muddy Creek. Bogle again. Got the whole shot. Moto.
Not mistaken, it looked like a yellow machine, so we'll have to see if it was possibly Roczen early. Eli, you've got to take the lead and put some distance because I might be wrong. Eli Tomac, I was wrong, so Roczen is in the top 5. I apologize to Tomac, gonna have to work at this again, but he's got to make this happen. I'm telling you, there's Tomac with a drive. Coming through.
Well, he said Tomac's got to charge early. That's exactly what he did. There wasn't even much of an opening. Trying to get Bogle for second.
Well, right now, look at Roczen, just charges. Made that look so easy. As we were just talking about. So, no excuses. This is the top 2 in points. Tomac.
For Tomac this year.
A lap. Let's be honest, not laps.
Yeah.
That is the first lap he's led of 2016, whereas in 2015, all we talked about is
race of the year last year. He's gotten back to probably A-level status, but he's got to be A+.
It's a little bit different, in my opinion, trying to get around Eli Tomac than some of the other guys. Ken Roczen, it almost needs a mistake to happen for Roczen to really just blow by him. But look at that, the center part of that turn, and that's where he's making up time. But Roczen's just so fast, he can go anywhere on the track and make
down the inside. Tomac gets over there and has him covered.
How frustrating has it got to be? He wants to be out front, and Percy does it. Tomac doesn't triple.
This is going to be it right here. Roczen around the outside. Not jumping, and Roczen's into the lead.
Yeah, that's a big boo-boo there from Eli Tomac. You've got to jump LaRocco's leap. If you saw what happened, it shows you the difference between jumping LaRocco's leap and not doing it.
And this guy is making some history right now. Ken Roczen demolishing the competition.
Just because he's got to be frustrated. He's tried everything. It's not from a lack of effort.
3 years that he's gone 1-1 with a huge performance at Redbud. Ken Roczen dominates here.
Oh, Roczen got pinched, but he was able to sneak through pretty easily, and the whole shot to Bogle once again to get by Porcel and stretch it out. He goes the long way around on a smooth line. He's got it. Has he? Yes, he seals the deal. So Roczen, once again, race 1 winner. He wants this overall, not to mention he needs to start chiseling away at Ken Roczen's point lead. So now he's going to square it up. He's going for it, and he's got a power slide going side by side once again. I think Tomac's going to seal the deal by the end of the straight. Able to close that gap down. His speed today has just been phenomenal. He is absolutely railing these corners. His corner speed's down, those mid-centers, and his exit speed is just phenomenal. His entrance speed's phenomenal too.
Yeah, puzzling too, because honestly those little dabs on the gas, but Tomac on the gas, I guess just that much harder. And they've stretched it already 12 seconds over. Still managed to pull the trigger and make a pass. It's starting to tighten up, and you can hear the fans again.
Oh, the fans are going crazy. They've got air horns. They've got vuvuzelas.
For the first time since 2013. And by the way, it was back in 2013 that these two guys were battling out as youngsters. Yeah, the 250 division with Southwick National, Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, the rough sand track at Southwick. Eli Tomac, number 3. Monster Energy Kawasaki has caught your leader. Fran Mechanics area.
Yes, the atmosphere down here is unbelievable right now. The Fran Mechanics area, all the team members are going crazy.
Friend in motocross because they don't have windshield wipers, so you can't clear it. So you have to use tear-offs. So the problem is, you use all your tear-offs and eventually you can't see Tomac at the bottom. You saw Tomac's last lap time was in the 9s, whereas Roczen was in the 10s. So
to respond each time.
Yeah, and maybe some of the changes they did make made a difference, because in the first moto, it looked to me like...
I don't know if there's room for Tomac to make it happen here, but he's certainly putting the heat on. Gonna switch to the left again. Everywhere Roczen
championship. Tomac, we know he's number 3, but from the front, there's no number visible. Yeah, come on by. They're trying to stay out of the way, not sure which way to go.
I think those guys are exhausted. Mike 5th, Nicoletti 6th.
Watch this.
Oh, big run around the outside. Long way around for Tomac. He's got the drive, and he's going to be
the crowd are going crazy here in Southwick, Massachusetts.
So Tomac able to take the lead. He held more in your insurance if you call Geico. If you want to call them, though, I'd advise you to keep your eyes on the TV screen, because this battle is great. Part of Southwick, we actually have a... Whoa, Tomac has gone down just like that, and Ken Roczen has taken the lead.
Once again, Tomac to the inside, takes the lead.
Roczen squares it up. Roczen's going to try to beat him to the exit. No. Now allow Roczen to get it back, but only for a few corners. Tomac had a little something extra and was immediately able to respond. Much vision, where the tear-off gives you the complete goggle clear, the roll-up. Now Tomac's got a few more lap riders to get through. He does it! Eli Tomac wins the Red Bull Southwick Moto 2. It wasn't enough. Tomac is finally on the board with a victory. Justin Barcia going to lead them into turn 1. Can he hold it? Yes. Slows Roczen enough for Eli Tomac to try to take second, and now Tomac into the lead.
They were basically 3 wide coming down to 4th place. Porcel up there as well. So once again, oh, look at Roczen. He can just get the power to the time. What's he going to do? Barcia's going to take the protective line. Roczen's going to try and just barrel around the outside, but we've seen
that right now. As Tomac starts to get away, Roczen's going to try another outside line.
Well, Barcia's got that 12-foot Roczen trying everything he can, but
got him.
Oh wow, he just really left the braking late.
He is lethal in the early laps.
Well, he was extremely quick in practice and qualifying, and we kind of talked about it. But Eli Tomac is a gritty competitor, so it's one thing to try and catch Tomac a couple of seconds.
Yeah,
the minute they twist the throttle. These bikes have a lot of bottom end, a lot of torque. You know, maybe high speed.
Let Roczen get to the point where he can put pressure on. Look at Roczen jumping downhill.
He's jumping the braking bump, so it just shows you he's put that Suzuki wherever he wants. And, oh, he's on the outside now, but his acceleration and his
absolutely knows he's there.
Oh, he does. He can hear it.
We go across the start stretch. This is going to be one of the highest speed sections of the track and one of the roughest as well.
Yeah, that straightaway kind of filters into the same line. That's why you heard some of the guys saying it's actually not that easy to pass the 250 class. With the relentless pressure from Cooper Webb, eventually Alex Martin made that mistake and made it easier.
We're thinking about 60 or so downhill, 180-foot drop.
Stories, but that's very tall ceilings as well.
Yeah. Oh, Roczen just left it wide open there. Now he's going to try to come back on him. But he's got a long way around. Little mistake.
The next turn, so kind of cross-roaded him going the other direction. But it almost didn't seem like touch on him. But we know where Roczen is really good is he will put the hammer down right now, and he's going to try and
with it in qualifying earlier today. There's a catapult named after Chad Reed who had a huge crash. So that changed in a hurry. But what hasn't changed too much, well, Tomac got the teeth in him last week. Roczen comes right back. Phil Nicoletti had it in Moto 1. He's going to get elbowed out here. And it is Marvin Muscan leading them into turn 1 and out of it.
Yeah, and Roczen just, well, Barsha got pushed off track there. He rejoins. But how about this? Roczen now
crazy between Savachi and Webb in the 250s down here. Oh, Muscan's going to hold him off. One rider. Well, it's just that much easier. He's going to try to outbrake Muscan and does.
How he does it. I hope you guys have that new prism lens, which helps with the shadows, but it also tones down the
roost in his face.
Yeah, now look at this to the outside. Wow, look at that speed from Tomac. That's typically
Tomac can kind of weather this storm, stay close enough, and maybe give him something late in the race. We saw that happen by that Monster Energy Kawasaki.
Well, he's shown pace all day long from first to second practice, fastest qualifier. Didn't quite get it. Sometimes when Roczen's put under pressure, he's able to pick it up. But right now, being
trying to keep Tomac hung on the outside. No, he let him go.
You know, you heard Tomac say off the first moto, the first 10, 15 minutes, I just couldn't get that rhythm. I wonder if Roczen's having the same problem.
Yeah, this is kind of an old school way. I heard a lot in the old days of motocross for straight rhythm. That's a really innovative event coming your way in October. Eli Tomac, but just those 3 or 4 laps where Tomac got him, and now it stayed within 7 to 8 seconds for most of it. Very curious to find out. 2-1 and win the overall Outlaw shoe goal. I think Tomac might have this on the outside. He's just going to get squeezed. Justin Barsha on the inside.
Fourth, and then the New Yorker Filthy Phil in 5th. So what a start. All the fouls.
Oh, just not enough room, and that might actually cost him. Look at Roczen, who's so good on the first lap making passes, and he just did it against Barsha as well. Here he goes.
I was going to say, he's going to get Barsha right now because that line's been working. Someone watched the 250. Well, the sport's got to that level now as we see Tomac now tries to go up the inside of Barsha. He's got the inside line.
He's simply been in a league of his own. So we're about to get a little test right here between the 94 and the 3 to see where they stand today.
That if anyone tries to step it up, you know, to close that gap, I feel like he's got a little more. So
for everyone else, but Tomac's certainly a gamer, and it's been quite the yo-yo battle back and forth. We can throw it on board with, etc. It's so much different for the privateers compared to guys like this, Ken Roczen. I think you've got this one figured out. First moto is done. Kenny Roczen takes the win. Matt Bishaley on the 32 leading them in and out of turn 1. Nice job.
Butts Creek. I'd say the fans go nuts, but I can't hear them. But absolutely, I'm pumped for Shorty leading. Roczen's going to make short work of this, I believe. Watch this up the inside. Yeah, I mean,
before getting back in the races, I got to help Ronnie Stewart, who is down, and he actually takes the bike and gets it off of him, and Roczen is gone. There he is. Almost a little mistake, cresting the top of that hill. You've got to look for tiny errors.
Tomac, he's got to be frustrated with the season as far as impatient now.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where Tomac's looking for daylight. It'll be the outside here. There's just nowhere to go at the end of this corner, though.
On the inside, Barsha strummed as well, but Tomac's there. Can he put his bike in the way? I think he can.
Ooh, got to be careful there at the top. You don't want to go too far. There's nowhere to land on that jump. Tomac on the inside. Can he got about a quarter of a lap, maybe a half now, side by side, and it continues.
Tomac's on the outside, but they have a lot of respect for each other. But when it comes to the race, they want to beat each other so bad.
Fun personality, spectacular to watch ride, and no doubt he is a worthy 2016 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross champion.